Hello Crimson Tide! The Pittsburgh Steelers' interest in Jaylen Milroe is a fascinating story for Alabama fans and critics who have followed his career. Will he be a standout in the NFL? Before the news, subscribe to the channel to receive more Bama news. Milroe, a name that left opinions divided in Tuscaloosa, now finds himself in the sights of one of the most historic franchises in the NFL, led by the respected Mike Tomlin. It is a moment of validation and also of uncertainty, typical of those who carry the legacy of having worn the Crimson Tide uniform. Milroe's 2024 season was a mix of brilliance and questioning. With 2,844 passing yards, 16 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, he oscillated between plays of pure genius and decisions that compromised games. However, his impressive athletic ability, reflected in his 726 rushing yards and 20 rushing touchdowns, sets him apart from a traditional quarterback. He is not just a thrower, but a chance creator, capable of redefining plays with his feet when the original plan fails. This profile has attracted the interest of the Steelers, a team that is re-evaluating its future at the quarterback position. After seasons of uncertainty, the franchise sees Milroe as a high-risk prospect, but with the potential for significant reward. His presence at the Senior Bowl will be crucial to his projection in the draft, a golden opportunity to demonstrate leadership, game intelligence, and adaptability in a professional environment. Still, the road will not be easy. The criticism that followed Milroe in Alabama is also echoed in the NFL. Some Pittsburgh fans are skeptical, pointing to his inconsistency as a possible impediment to success in the league. Alabama's history of quarterbacks in the NFL adds another layer of pressure, as the transition to the professional game hasn't always been smooth for talent coming out of Tuscaloosa. For Milroe, however, the challenge is nothing new. He's already navigated the transition from running Nick Saban's offense to adapting to Kalen DeBoer's offensive vision, a process that has tested his resilience and adaptability. That experience could be a valuable asset as he tries to convince the Steelers he's the right player to lead their offense in the near future. From Alabama's perspective, Milroe's potential rise to the NFL underscores the program's strength in producing players ready for the next level, even in transitional years. Under Kalen DeBoer, the Crimson Tide has maintained its reputation as one of college football's powerhouses, molding players who not only possess talent but also the mindset to thrive under pressure. As the Steelers assess whether Jaylen Milroe is the missing piece to revitalize their franchise, he carries with him the weight of expectations and hopes from a fan base that has witnessed his journey up close. The destination may be uncertain, but the potential is there, and for Milroe, the challenge of proving himself worthy of a place among the best is the fuel that drives him forward. Let's keep going! Deontay Lawson's decision to return to Alabama football for his fifth season in 2025 is not just a gesture of resilience, it's a renewed commitment to the greatness of the Crimson Tide program. For an athlete who has already made a significant mark in 4 seasons, his choice to return is a clear sign that he believes in the unrealized potential of this team under the leadership of Kalen DeBoer. Lawson is not only returning from a season-ending injury, but he is also returning with the mindset of a seasoned leader determined to restore the Crimson Tide to the pinnacle of college football. His decision to put his NFL dream on hold, even after a serious injury, demonstrates not only faith in the process, but also a deep-seated desire to close his Alabama story with a memorable chapter. With impressive stats, 194 tackles, 16 for loss, 5 sacks, and 12 pass deflections in 4 years, Lawson has already established himself as a defensive force. But he himself admits that this is not enough. He wants more. And more than numbers, he wants to leave a legacy. The reliance on God, highlighted in his statements, is a reflection of how he approaches challenges, with patience, conviction, and a sense of purpose that goes beyond the field. Lawson's impact in 2025 will not only be on the field. As one of the few senior defensive players returning, his presence will be crucial for a group of young talents who will need guidance. The names that make up the defensive core, L.T. Overton, Tim Keenan III, Jamarian Latham, Justin Jefferson, Kean Sabb and Domani Jackson have potential, but it will be Lawson who will give them the stability and leadership necessary to reach Alabama's high standards. The 2024 season was disappointing for the Crimson Tide, ending with a loss in the ReliaQuest Bowl. Lawson made it clear that not only did he feel the weight of that disappointment, but that the memory is fueling his return. He wants fans to know that his personal mission is to bring this program back, a goal that resonates deeply with a fan base accustomed to success. With Kalen DeBoer, Alabama is in a state of renewal. Lawson's decision to return is a vote of confidence in the coach's vision and the team's ability to overcome last year's challenges. DeBoer, known for his ability to rebuild teams and maximize talent, will look to Lawson as a pillar of not only performance, but also inspiration for the rest of the roster. For Alabama fans, Lawson's message is clear. He is committed to rewriting the narrative of a team that has suffered a setback but has what it takes to bounce back. He represents the type of player that defines the program, resilient, ambitious, and willing to put the team before himself. As the journey to 2025 unfolds, Lawson not only symbolizes the fight to overcome personal and collective adversity, but also embodies the spirit of the Crimson Tide, never settling for anything less than excellence. Deontay Lawson's return is more than good news. It's a reminder that Alabama isn't content to simply compete, they're always looking to dominate. Let's keep going! Alabama continues to show why it is one of the most respected recruiting powers in college football, this time making its mark on Javian Osborne, a four-star running back from Texas who is a 2026 prospect. The visit from head coach Kalen DeBoer, accompanied by Maurice Linguist, Robert Gillespie and Courtney Morgan, made it clear to Osborne that he is a top priority for the Crimson Tide program. Osborne, who excelled at Forney High School with impressive numbers, 25 touchdowns and more than 1,200 rushing yards his junior season, now feels more connected to Alabama. The attention the coaching staff has given him has been not only strategic, but deeply personal, something he has highlighted as essential to understanding where he fits in the program's future. Osborne's statement that it's clear he is a top priority is a testament to the commitment Kalen DeBoer and his staff have made to identifying, recruiting, and nurturing the best talent in the country. In a competitive environment where programs like Georgia, Texas, and USC are also competing for young stars, Alabama once again demonstrates why it continues to attract the most promising athletes. Osborne's commitment to visit Tuscaloosa not once, but twice this spring before official visits in the summer is indicative of his growing interest in the program. It's also a reflection of what Alabama represents, an opportunity to not only play at a high level, but to be developed and prepared for the next level. Osborne is clearly focused on technical development, something he believes Coach Gillespie can uniquely provide. Osborne's combination of quickness, explosiveness and vision make him a versatile and extremely promising runner. He has the size and skill to excel both between the tackles and on open plays. These qualities make him an ideal fit for Alabama's dynamic offense, which has historically turned running backs into NFL stars. For Crimson Tide fans, this is exciting news. Recruiting a talent like Osborne is more than just adding a great player to the roster. The goal of this program is to strengthen the culture of excellence that defines the program. And with the vision of Kalen DeBoer, who has already demonstrated himself to be an effective strategist and leader, Osborne's arrival could be the beginning of an even more promising new phase for Alabama. Osborne will not only bring his skill set to the team, but also a competitive spirit and desire to develop that aligns perfectly with what Alabama seeks in its players. He has already shown maturity by talking about his priority to build relationships and understand how he will be used in the offensive scheme. While recruitment is still ongoing and other programs will try to lure Osborne, the impact of this initial visit cannot be understated. Alabama has not only planted the seed, but also demonstrated that, for them, every detail counts. It is this attention to detail that separates the Crimson Tide from the pack and keeps them at the top, year after year. If Osborne ends up committing to Alabama, he will be yet another example of how the program not only recruits talent, but also molds players to reach their full potential. With renewed focus and a coach like Kalen DeBoer, Alabama's future looks brighter than ever. Will it come? The latest name on the list of prospects is Tristan, a five-star wide receiver in the class of 2026. When narrowing his options to 12 schools, Keys included the Crimson Tide, showing that the tireless work of the coaching staff led by Kalen DeBoer is paying off. Keys, one of the top-ranked receivers in his class, was full of praise for the Alabama program and, in particular, wide receivers coach Jamarcus Shepard. According to him, Shepard's energy and enthusiasm were decisive factors in keeping Alabama at the top of his priorities. This close and authentic relationship is one of the pillars that underpin the Crimson Tide's recruiting success, and it is clear that Keys feels valued and respected as an athlete and as a person. Keys' decision also reflects his interest in a program that offers immediate opportunities to make an impact. He highlighted the use of freshmen in 2024 as a factor that caught his attention. For a player of Keys' caliber who can come in and make an impact from day one, this policy of valuing young talent is essential. Alabama has shown, even in a transitional year with a new coaching staff, that it is willing to trust newcomers who have what it takes to compete at the highest level. Keys also seems to understand that football is a process. He acknowledged that Alabama faced challenges in 2024, but saw that as part of the natural fit for a program looking to rebuild and refine its identity under DeBoer's leadership. For a young athlete with ambitions of greatness, this outlook demonstrates maturity and vision. With his athletic ability, explosive speed and natural instincts as a wide receiver, Keys is exactly the type of player who can excel in Alabama's offensive system. He not only has the physical tools, but also the understanding of what it takes to compete in an elite program. That, combined with the Crimson Tide's history of producing standout NFL wide receivers, makes Tuscaloosa a logical destination for an emerging star like Keys. While the competition to secure Keys' commitment is fierce, with 11 other schools still in the running, Alabama has repeatedly shown that it knows how to close the recruiting gap. The program's recent history, competitive environment and quality coaching staff are factors that continue to attract the best talent in the country. For Alabama fans, the Crimson Tide's inclusion on Keys' list is an encouraging sign that the program is positioning itself well to continue its tradition of recruiting excellence. With visits to Tuscaloosa on the horizon, there is an opportunity to further strengthen the bond between Keys and the team. If Alabama can land Tristan Keys in its 2026 class, he will be another key piece in an ongoing effort to cement the program as one of the most dominant in college football. May Bama be a great recruiter this year. I want to hear your opinion. Your comments are important.